Hi, I'm Joe Paiva. I'm with the team from the University of Maine who have participated in the 2024 NSPS student competition. So they're spending a little bit of time with us. And let me start by asking uh, which one of you has been appointed, became, maybe took no prisoners and became the head of this team, the chair, the party chief, the head honcho?
So we got three answers for that. He's the president who was elected last week. He filled out all the paperwork, and I organized all the practices and stuff we did.
Okay, you're trying to take credit for being in charge. I can see that. So we'll go with that. All right. So let me ask you how you got involved in the student competition. Were you just, sitting there vacantly in a classroom and somebody said, you, and you are going to go to the competition? Or did you actually raise your hand? And if you did, why did you choose to come?
So we volunteered because we wanted to come here and help advertise ourselves as upcoming surveyors to the field. Not like some of us are currently set to graduate soon, but just in the near future. Like I'm available whenever, sort of thing. So yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can have you tell everybody your phone number when we're finished with this interview so they can call you. So that brings up a good question. How many of you have been employed or are employed by professional surveying organizations today? Okay, so all of you are, but some of you are looking for a change. Okay, I get it. So tell me a little bit about what you did to prepare for this competition.
We had like 3 practices a week, and we kind of just organized everything based on what we needed to work on as a group and individually, I'd say.
So that's interesting. That's pretty rigorous. You guys really were serious. So when it came to the equipment, you probably had a pretty good idea what you'd be using. Did you actually practice on similar equipment?
Thankfully, at the University of Maine, we have several like 1700 era compasses as well as a few T2s, and we were able to practice with both of those along with chains. And then we also have dumpy level, although the calibration is questionable, but we're working on that.
Very good. So the thing I noticed is that in the measurement phase of the competition, you not only have to make the measurements accurately, but then you have to do some computations. So how did you organize how did you prepare for that before you came here?
I mean, especially with I think, what was it? One of the computations, we split into a couple teams and tried to practice in like pairs just to get a sense of what we'd actually be doing in the field. And just trying to get as good as we could get with it.
So you had a feel for what the measurement phases were. Did you decide ahead of time who was going to be doing what for each of those things?
Yes, we in most of the parts of it, we had goals and roles. So for the dumpy level, we had somebody that was going to be on the rod, somebody that was going to be on the instrument, people reading, and similarly for the chain and compass, people that we knew ahead of time were going to be chaining and reading the compass.
Very good. And was one of you kind of the expert computer for the whole team, or did you all mix it up as well?
Us two back here were definitely put in charge of computing. We did a lot of the calculations, of course, with a lot of help and checks from everyone else. So we'd get the number, and then the other teams would also get it, and we'd check.
Very good. So in general, are you happy with the way things went? I know the awards haven't been announced yet, but in general, did you have a pretty good idea of how things went?
Yeah, I think we did well. I think we put our best effort forward, and yeah, I'm happy to say happy with what we did. So yeah.
Very well said. So who has an interesting story to tell about how they got into surveying?
I can tell my story. So I used to study biomedical engineering, but I kind of was like, I don't think this is for me. And my mother and I looked at majors at the University of Maine, and my mom was like, oh, surveying looks like something you'd like. So I tried it, and I got it really into it.
So your mother really knew what your interests were.
Yeah, I love reading maps and stuff, and like the CAD is what I really like to do. So I was like, yeah, I could see how this goes.
Very good. So let me end by asking, you've been here for quite a few days. You had the trip up here. You had the gatherings with other students, with the young surveyors, the competition phases themselves. Is there one particular memory that you would take back from all of this experience?
I was just really excited to meet all the other teams and see how they did, what they were. It was a great just meeting them and finding that we had very similar experiences throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I would say meeting the other teams is really exciting and getting to like know how everyone got into this field because it's not super known to like the outside world.
Yeah, getting to know some of the vendors too was also pretty cool because I never knew that like the Army had like a civilian branch for surveyors, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say the events I'd have to take as a memory because we put a lot of work into them, and I really like seeing how we all came together to get through them.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed the actual practicing the measurements that we did out in the field. 'Cause as Thomas said, we did a lot of practices, and it was nice to be able to do what we had done in practice and what we'd spent so much time on, and then also be able to actually catch blunders that we made out in the field.
Yeah, I would say the actually competing on the mall was probably the thing I'll take back with me, spending all day doing survey work on the mall.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your time with us. I want to wish you the very best in your careers going forward and safe travels home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.